Do you have Cisco certifications that are going to expire this year? Watch this video because I am going to show you what you need to do in order to renew your Cisco certifications at every level of the certification program, including a method that you can use to renew without passing a cert exam. And also, if you watch this video to the end, I am going to renew my CCIE in this video. Hi, my name is Rich and welcome to the Rich Tech Guy channel. And at the time of releasing this video, it's a new year. So Happy New Year if you're watching it at the release time. If you're watching it sometime later in the year, like say July, I hope your year is going great. Now, a year ago, I released a video about what it takes to get Cisco certifications on your path to the CCIE. Go ahead and watch that if you haven't seen that already and you want to go on that path. I've linked it up above and in the description down below. The information in that video is still relevant today. If you have picked up certifications along the way and you are still on that path towards your CCIE, great. Keep going, keep working at it. And if you had certifications maybe from a while back and they're coming up for renewal, you're going to want to get those renewed. Once you have earned some certs, it's important to keep track of those certifications and also make sure you keep them renewed. Now, if you're continuing to level up, say on your way to a CCIE, then you're keeping your lower level certs recertified just by going up to the higher levels. But if you're looking to renew your certifications, then that is where you have to pay attention to the recertification rules. Now, prior to 2020, the rules were quite simple, that all you had to do to renew your certification was to recertify by passing the exam again at the same or a higher level. If you had a CCNA, you took the CCNA exam again, you renewed your CCNA. Or at that time there were multiple CCNAs. If you took another CCNA exam, you also renewed your first CCNA. If you passed a CCNP level exam, that would renew a CCNP and many of your CCNAs. If you passed a CCIE written exam, it renewed every single Cisco certification that you had. All right, but then in February 2020, Cisco made changes to their certification program, and these old rules no longer apply. So now the way you can recertify could be passing an exam, passing a combination of exams, or earning something called continuing education credits, or possibly even having a combination of continuing education credits and passing an exam. Sounds complicated. Well, let's walk through it, starting with CCNA. Now, the CCNA is going to be the least complex in terms of how to renew it. Okay, the way you can renew a CCNA is either you pass a CCNA exam again or a higher level exam, or you pick up 30 continuing education credits. Now, I'm going to go into continuing education credits later on in the video, but for now, let's move on to the specialist certification. Okay, so the specialist certification was introduced in 2020 as part of the change in the Cisco certification program. So we are now reaching that point where people who got the specialist certification are due for renewal. So here's how you renew that specialist certification. The first and most straightforward way is you pass another specialization exam, or also referred to as a concentration exam. The other way you can do it is to earn 40 continuing education credits. Now, going back to the exam method, if you pass the certification exam for that specialization that you initially got, then you're going to renew that specialization. But if you pass a concentration exam that's tied to a different specialization, then not only are you going to renew your specialization cert, but you're also going to pick up a new specialization cert. And if you go take a look at a video I did a while back giving an overview of the Cisco certifications, I'm going to link to it up above and in the description down below, then what I'm going to just quickly rehash here is that I really labeled the specialist certifications as kind of that sweet spot of the Cisco certification program, where having these certifications really show a potential employer how you are focused or where you have experience in a particular Cisco solution. So adding more specialist certs is definitely going to be helpful to your resume as you are renewing the specialist certs you have. Now, another way you can renew your specialist certification is to pass a higher level exam, such as a core exam. And if you pass a specialist certification, if you have that, and you pass the core exam in the same technology concentration area, then you will get a CCNP. So to pass the CCNP initially, you had to pass the core exam and also a concentration specialist exam. And in order to renew your CCNP, all you got to do is pass the core exam again. If you do that, your CCNP is renewed, you're done. Okay, that's easy, right? If you don't want to go that route with the exams, you can also pass another exam route, which is 2 concentration specialist exams. So maybe you want to build out your resume and pick up 2 specialization certs. You can do that and also renew your CCNP. If you don't want to go the exam route at all, you can earn 80 continuing education credits, and that will renew your CCNP. If you want to mix your exams and continuing education credits, you can do that starting at the CCNP level by passing a concentration exam and picking up a specialization, and then also getting 40 continuing education credits. So next, let's talk about hitting that like button. And also, while you're at it, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go and hit the subscribe button too. Getting back on topic, we've reached the CCIE. Now, a lot changed with renewing a CCIE in the 2020 changes. And the old way, you really had 3 methods you could renew your CCIE. You could pass a CCIE written exam. You could pass a CCIE lab exam, again, if you wanted to subject yourself to that torture, or maybe you're working on a CCIE in a different technology track. Or the third option that the CCIEs had prior to 2020 was you could renew with continuing education credits. Before the 2020 changes to the Cisco certification program, the CCIE was the only certification that you could renew with continuing education credits. Now back then, you needed 100 credits. That changed. In order to renew a CCIE now, you have a few options. First of all, you need to pass, if you're going to go just the straight up exam route, you need to pass both a core exam and a specialization concentration exam. So if you do that in the same track, you are actually going to basically renew your CCIE by getting a CCNP. Another way you can go about renewing your CCIE with exams is by passing 3 certification exams for the concentration specializations. So if you want to pad your resume and get a bunch of specialist certs, go ahead and study up and pass 3 concentration exams and pick up a few specialization certs. The other way that you can pass a CCIE or renew your CCIE is through passing the CCIE lab exam again. If you want to torture yourself or you're going for a CCIE in a different track. So that's another option available to you. And then there's another option that's not discussed so much, but I will put it out here because you can renew with this exam. It's a single exam to renew your CCIE, and that is passing the CCDE written exam. The CCDE being the Cisco Certified Design Expert. So if you're working towards a CCDE and you pass the written exam, that will renew your CCIE. Also, if you pass the CCDE practical exam, that will also renew your CCIE. Now, I also mentioned that prior to the 2020 Cert changes, a CCIE could be renewed with just the continuing education credits. Now, before February 2020, you needed 100 continuing education credits in order to renew your CCIE. That changed, it went up. Now, if you want to renew your CCIE, you're going to need 120 continuing education credits. So that's just something to keep in mind if you want to go that route. You can also renew your CCIE by having either by a combination of exams and continuing education credits. And if you're going to go this route, the way you need to look at it is if you have to view the exams based off of an equivalent number of credits. So a concentration exam that will earn you a specialization, that would equal 40 credits. Whereas a core exam for a CCNP would equal 80 credits. So if you've picked up 40 continuing education credits through, say, taking classes or whatever, and now you're going to go actually take a core exam, and you pass the core exam, well, that 40 credits plus the core exam will renew your CCIE. The 2020 certification changes that Cisco made also made some very important changes to the CCIE renewal. Now, before 2020, if you had your CCIE, it was good for 2 years, and then you had a 1-year probationary period if you did not renew your CCIE within that period. In 2020, that changed. Now your CCIE is valid for 3 years. If you do not renew it by the deadline after 3 years, you lose your CCIE. It's gone, and there's no probationary period. If you want to get it back, you have to go back and do the core written exam and the lab exam all over again. So that's very important because you do not want to have to torture yourself with getting the lab exam again. The other thing that in the changes for the CCIE program was it changed the dates of renewal. This is very important to anybody who got a CCIE prior to 2020. Before 2020, your CCIE was renewed based off of your certification anniversary date. So if you renewed within your period of validity, Cisco would go to your next anniversary date and extend your CCIE by 2 years from that day. If you happen to be in the probationary period, what Cisco would do is it would go back to your last anniversary date and extend your certification period from that day. For example, I earned my CCIE initially on July 20th of 2015. And then in October of 2016, I went and passed the CCIE written exam again and renewed my CCIE. So what Cisco did was it went out to my next anniversary day on July of 2017 and extended my CCIE by 2 years from that day. But now, if you renew your CCIE today, your period of validity is good for 3 years from the date of renewal. So, if I renew my CCIE today, like I'm doing in this video, your CCIE, or my CCIE in this case, will be good for 3 years from today. All right? From the time I film this video, not the time I release this video, because I'm filming the video ahead of schedule. All right, so keep that in mind in regards to your CCIE renewals. That's a lot to take in across any of the certifications. If you've got any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. So what are continuing education credits and how do you get them? I've been talking a lot about these as I've been going over the certifications. Well, Cisco offers continuing education credits based on completing approved activities regarding education, such as attending or completing courses that are either Cisco courses toward the certifications or are provided through Cisco certified and approved education providers. Now, when you complete one of these courses, you're going to get a little certificate. There's going to be a certificate number on it that you can then use in order to claim those credits. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how you go about looking up courses that are available to earn credits on and how many credits and how to claim them. But essentially, each course is going to be a different amount of credits based off of the complexity of the course, the length of the course, how much content is in that course, so on and so forth. Now, one of the ways that I actually access continuing education credits is through something called the Cisco Platinum Learning Library. I'm not employed by Cisco. I'm not paid to promote this, but this is something that I have through my employer who has purchased a license for me, where I have access to a library of Cisco courses that I can access on demand and pull them in. And just watch and go through the course and earn the credits that way. Now, the price tag for the continuing education program is a little bit pricey. So it's not something I recommend if you're just on your own trying to do. But if you have an employer that where your job role involves you working with Cisco solutions, and your employer has an interest in you keeping up to date and maintaining your certifications, I would highly recommend having that discussion with your employer about the Cisco Learning Library and getting that license. Now, another way you can get continuing education credits is by attending Cisco Live. And if you are attending Cisco Live, you can get those through the technical breakout sessions. Now, depending on the sessions you attend at Cisco Live, you can earn anywhere from, say, 1 credit if, say, you're attending a 20-minute DevNet breakout session, up to maybe even as high as 10 credits through purchasing an add-on package to your Cisco Live membership that gets you an 8-hour lab session. So if you are going to Cisco Live, when you're building out your schedule, just keep in mind that you can earn continuing education credits based off of what you earn. And at the end of Cisco Live, you'll be able to pull a certificate that you can then use to submit for your Cisco Live continuing education credits. So in order to track your education credits, there's a couple of websites that you need to be aware of. And I'm just going to warn you straight up, Cisco really doesn't make this that easy. These websites are not the clearest in terms of understanding how they are. I would absolutely love it if it just said, you have this many credits you have earned toward a renewal. But it's not that way. So I'm going to walk through that. There are 2 websites that you need to be aware of, unless you have a CCIE, in which case there's a 3rd website that you're going to need to be aware of. So let's go take a look at those websites. The first website is ce.cisco.com. And I'm already logged into it, but you do need to log in with your Cisco ID. And once you do, you are presented with your dashboard, which shows information about your currently active certifications and also the credits that you have either earned or redeemed. The next tab on here is going to be the item catalog tab, where you can run a search of a particular course or activity and see if, first of all, does that qualify? If it doesn't appear in the search, it's not going to qualify. And if it does appear, how many credits you'll be able to get for it. And then the last tab here is going to be submit item. So once you have completed an activity that earns you continuing education credits, you can go into here and fill out the form. You will also have to likely include an attachment. Once you get that sent off, then you are good to go, and you just have to wait for it to come back and say how many credits you've earned. I'm going to go back to the dashboard because there's this not so obvious link on here for a Cert metrics account. And if you click on that, that is going to route you over to the Cert metrics for your profile. And in here you've got personal info. You can schedule an exam or take a look at your schedule, view your testing history, your certifications, transcripts, all that stuff. And so if I go into my certifications, I can see my cert status. It shows me current certifications, expired certifications. A lot of these certifications are ones that just aren't even available anymore. They've been retired. And then if you go into anything except for a CCIE certification, like let's say I pull up my CCNP Enterprise here. I go into this and it shows you what you need to be able to renew that certification. So again, 80 CE credits, 40 CE credits if you've also accomplished some of these other tasks, and so on and so forth. If you go into a CCIE certification, all it does is basically give you the status of your CCIE certification. You can also go, if you go take a look back at your dashboard, you can pull up, okay, it's showing upcoming certifications that I've got happening here. These are actually retired certs, the CCNA routing and switching, CCNA security. These were all gotten rid of in the 2020 change. And then it's also showing CE credits that I have available. Yeah, so it says I've got these 5 CE credits. Here's just a listing, and this website has recently been updated, but to me it has never really been that great at showing you things. I mean, it's basically showing in increments of 5 points or fewer of what CE credits I have and when they expire. This is kind of a pain to look at. And if you have a CCIE like I do, it gets even more confusing. So in order to go to the CCIE, if you do have a CCIE and you're looking to renew it through continuing education credits, the best way to do that is going to be through your CCIE portal, where the information will still be hidden from you, but I'm going to show you how to find it. Okay, the way I do it is I'll go to cisco.com/go/CCIE, and in here, if I go down here, there's this link for a CCIE portal. This portal becomes active for you as soon as you have passed a CCIE written exam. Once you have passed that, you get access to this portal, which you can then use to go schedule your lab exams. And once you have passed your lab exams, you can also use it to keep up to date with your CCIE. If you have a CCIE, you should know about this site. Okay, I'm in my CCIE portal right now, and the information on tracking your certification credits or your continuing education credits are right here on the dashboard page, but they're hidden. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that if you have your CCIE and you're looking to see how you can renew with those continuing education credits. Of course, you log in, it's going to show you your past lab exams, and you've got your prerequisites. And notice here how it gives me my CCIE status is recertified, and yeah, there's my number. And it says my next CCIE recertification is due. It's actually due May 26, 2024. But I'm actually in a position where I can renew now, so might as well just go ahead and get the renewal done now. If I mouse over this blue check mark on the right, that now shows me my accumulated credits toward renewing my CCIE. So if we look this over, the last time I renewed back on the 26th of May 2021, I actually had 9 credits left over from that. And so that number is reflected there. Then I attended Cisco Live US in 2022, and that got me 7 credits. I need to do a better job of planning out my sessions to maximize the credits there. After that, back in October, I completed the Troubleshooting Cisco Data Center Infrastructure class. So I did that. And that class was a beast of a class. There was a lot of info in that. That got me 50 credits. And then I found a rather surprising class as I was browsing through my Access in the Learning Library. And that was this Configuring Cisco MDS 9000 series switches. This was actually a very short class, but it had 40 credits available to it. So, and also not only that, but I'm very familiar with configuring MDS switches and fiber channel and storage area networking. So I just figured, okay, I'll just run through that class, and was able to go through that class in a very quick amount of time, and got myself another 40 credits. So that puts me at 106 credits. At this point, if I scroll down, it's also telling me what I need to do to recertify. An expert level lab exam, a CCD written exam, a core exam, a concentration exam, or now I just need 14 CE credits. So let's go ahead and put a submission in. All right, so I just completed, as part of my classes here, I actually just completed the Implementing Automation for Cisco Data Center Solutions class, which I did through that learning library. And here's my certificate. I did block out the identifier for this video, but that is the number I will use to update my certification. And so what is going on here is I'm going to take this certificate and I'm going to go into the CE portal, and let's take a look at the class. So this was the acronym for this class is DCAUI. There it is, Implementing Automation for Cisco Data Center Solutions. And I learned all sorts of great stuff about using Ansible, and I did do a video about automating VXLAN and deploying VXLAN. A lot of the stuff that I actually used in creating the Python scripts I did was some of the stuff about how to do that was actually covered in this class. So some of it was review, some of it was new information. Great class. If you are working in data center technologies, I highly recommend doing this class. But you can see here that this class will get you 24 credits. All right, so it's available in two forms. Now there is a picture here saying instructor-led training. If I click on view details, it also says Cisco Digital Learning. That's how I did it. So now let's go and submit the items. So right here I have the item name. I can go ahead and do that search again, DCAUI. This was the 1.1 version of the class. I did it through Cisco Direct Delivery, through Cisco Digital Learning. And so it starts asking you information about it. I'm going to go ahead and put this information in, and we'll get to the completion here. Got the information in here. It's ready to be submitted, and I am going to go ahead and click submit. And now it's going to come back with a confirmation. I'm about to submit the following details. Am I sure I want to continue? Yep, I want to do that. And here we go. Item submitted successfully. So sometimes it comes back right away. Sometimes it is going to be taking a while, but my watch and my phone just buzzed, which basically tells me I probably got an email. Yes, I just got an email, which I will show here, saying that I have successfully renewed my CCIE. So if I go into my dashboard now, I may have to refresh this. But let's go ahead and, okay, it's still not updated in the dashboard. But I'm going to go ahead and take a look and pull up the email here that I just received. So that was very quick in recertifying my CCIE. All right, so I actually received two emails, and the first one came back from the continuing education program saying that my request was approved. So they took a look at that certificate ID. They verified that yes, that was a valid ID that was issued to me, and so they approved the credits. And that's great. Then I got a second email right here, which says, congratulations, you've recertified your Cisco expert level certification. My CCIE, my next recertification deadline is going to be the 28th of December, 2025. Now, what's great about this is, as I gave in an example earlier, was that my first time renewing when I first earned my CCIE was on July 20th, 2015. My next renewal is December 28th, 2025. July 20th, 2025, I become eligible for what's called Emeritus status, where if I choose not to renew my CCIE, but I want to keep the number current, I can go ahead and go through the Emeritus process to convert my CCIE into a CCIE Emeritus and keep the number essentially somewhat active, kind of in a deferred active state, and just go ahead and do that, or I can continue to renew. Now, what happens if you put your CCIE into an Emeritus state, but then you want to bring it back into an active status? Well, in that case, what you need to do is just go through the process that you would go through to renew a CCIE, whatever it is at that time, and then you will be able to convert your Emeritus CCIE back into an active CCIE. So do you have any certifications that are expiring in the near future? If so, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And also, while down there, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I really want to grow this channel to a minimum of 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like this content. And also, as a reason why I put out this video was actually from my regular job answering some questions about that, but also because when you choose a life working in technology, it's a life of constantly learning. The technology is changing. You need to keep up to date with it. And if you're renewing your certifications, it shows your current employer, first of all, that you are keeping up to date with the technology, but it also shows potential employers that you are keeping up. So you always need to keep learning in tech, keep up to date with the technology, don't let it pass you by, keep learning, keep improving, keep studying, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.